Like I said, the memo of Prep and Thrive Radio is to keep you engaged. So maybe you are driving, you are cooking, you are cleaning, you are bored, you want to listen to some nice hosts and some beautiful voices, interesting stories. Here is the right place to tune in. Before we dive into today's episode, I will give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves again. Mind you, from the beginning, she might or they might be a little nervous, but don't worry, I'll keep them rolling and they'll be much more relaxed. We have already seen Uka, but today we have a new one. So they are both going to introduce themselves again, starting from you. Say hi to my guest, give us a little bit of who you are, where you come from, what you do, and if you're happy to be here.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Luvian. I'm so happy to be here, and it's my honor to be invited from Jeffrey. And again, my name is Luvian, and I come from China, and I have lived in Canada before, and I've lived in Shanghai for 2 years, and I'm born at Chongqing, which is a magnificent city. I love it. And I also live in rural area as a volunteer teacher helping kids there. So I also lived in temple with monks for a month. So
Wow.
that's a
Wow.
very diversified experience for me. Yes.
Yeah, the experience and exposure is deep, so we'll enjoy it. And Uka, reintroduce yourself again.
Hello guys again. It's really nice to be here the second time again. I'm so excited today's podcast. So my name is Otmar, and everyone calls me Oka because it's easier for internationals also. Yeah, and I'm from Mongolia, and I lived my whole life in Ulaanbaatar, which is Mongolian capital city. So yeah.
Great. So I think we have the background of our guest. So let's dive into the conversations. Of course, I have my preparations. So for the starter, we are in 2025, right? I guess we have all read about some history, World War II. I mean, we know how life has advanced, even though we weren't born maybe 30 or 40 years ago. But the question is, do you think that life today is better than it was 70 years ago? Comparing what we have now, you need to look at everything: society, advancement, the freedom, the safety, comparing now to what maybe our grandmothers or our fathers tell us like 70 years ago. Let me start from you, Uka, so that she knows how it goes. Do you think now is better comparing to 70 years ago? And why?
So you always ask really interesting question. Like I'm thinking about processing, but I think there's advantage and also disadvantage.
Let us know.
Yeah, for me, like advantage is so many things. Like these days we have AI, we have like smartphone, and everything is possible. Like in this generation, like 21st century. But then back in the days, it's more old-fashioned. It's so hard to call someone, writing letters. Even before, it was even hard. There's no even paper. So comparison and all, and now it's like more technology, but even with more technology, it became also like disadvantage.
Yeah, it has its bad
It's
sides.
yeah, I feel like humans are became more lazy, just like not trying to read books, just go to like ChatGPT, what they want, just write it, but it's not waste of time, but I think it's technology
So,
has become really
would
good.
you say that now it's better than 70 years ago? And what is
Yeah,
your
for me,
specific exact reason?
yeah, for me, I born in really good like
You
generation.
think so?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
How about you?
Oh, this question for me is like an IELTS question. It's an English test. Okay. I think for every century they have their own glamour and their own drawbacks. So maybe back 70 years, maybe we our generation saw it. Maybe we think like okay, it's happens wars, there are like more poverty, or
In this
people were
generation.
in suffering, and I mean back in
Okay.
70s. So, however, but if we really look into the history, we'll find there's so many genius. For example, scientists, the journalists, warriors. Then they are monumented in our walls, and their events and the thing they did, the research they conduct, they're really, really marvelous. However, if we look at into the era we're experiencing now, maybe yes, we will think like we have a more convenient life, like especially the technology, the AI, and all of these just facilitate our life, and I think our quality of life is just getting better.
I may would have to disagree with that because I think in every era, what so like for now, we have AI and we think it's genius. It is the time for it. 70 years ago, whatever that they have, they also thought they were advanced because at that time, the trains, the cars they have, to them, it was the era. But talking about the quality of life, I think those guys really enjoyed some quality of life. For example, now a teenager can just take their phone and go on TikTok, and after 2 hours, they will be much more depressed. Whereas those times, this teenager will go on a walk with their father or their mom to the farm where there is the landscape, there is the sky, there are birds. I think depression now is much deeper than it is there because at that time they weren't exposed to so many things. This time there are too much information available to us which are not necessarily important to us. So after considering or you guys are just looking at the iPhone 16, the Tesla, the beautiful trams, the beautiful flights. This is what you think is making our life much more better now.
So it's based on my answer. The old times. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
take
I
your
forgot
time.
the word.
Take your time. We have it because this conversation is very interesting and deep. So take your time and go. I'm
Yeah.
listening.
I think the old time and now. You were saying all time there is no like development technology and children were really enjoying the life and playing around, playing the playground. But now comparing old and now, the children are mostly just go on TikTok and watching a reels and watching a YouTube and like addicted and they get depressed. And even teenage people are like teenage girls and boys are like on the phone.
Yeah.
That's that you mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean.
Okay.
And also, based on your answers, you guys are really considering the fact that we live in a much more advanced state. For example, there is advanced technology. So is this enough to say that this generation or this era is better than 70 years?
Like if we see like the old technology, now technology, because we only know what's happening in present, and we will think, oh wow, it's good now, drop it and everything. Maybe in the future people will think, oh my God, we are more developed now. We are like, look at these cars flying. I don't know,
Yeah,
and they will
imagine.
see us like, what are they using? It's like not like developed or something.
And
So I think it's similar things that we are seeing the old back in the days, but I think it's person or people choice. It there depends on them what they want to spend. They still have the same body and brain and everything. It's just their choice to use phone 24/7 or addicting or not addicting.
addicted.
Because I know so many teenagers are still spend their like times really good quality. They go to gym or doing whatever they want and they use technology as their job or a hobby. Yeah, I think it depends the person. I think
Looking at maybe your grandparents or your grandparents' friends, I know China is a very family oriented society, so definitely you should have some relationship with your grandparents, yes?
Yes, I
Good.
do.
Listening from the things they say, you can tell that they appreciate their time than now. Do you get that feeling from them?
Yes, of course I get.
What are some of the things that makes you feel that way?
Back to the previous, I actually agree with that. Like from technology level, like we do have like advancement in nowadays, but from different aspects we may find like different understanding. Like I mean, each era have their own wisdom, and for example, like my grandparents, they would prefer living back to that time because they think the society in that time was more pure.
Yes, that's
Like
the word.
they worry less things, and it's not like the internet era. We saw too many things at the same
Same
time,
time.
and also we're anxious about something unnecessary. But back that time, they have no internet. They just live their own life. They have their own path to go. They can arrange the daily basis like from the small things, and they enjoy that life.
Yeah, and they compare everything, like especially food, weather, the health of our society now. Do you think this current society is dying?
I feel like so. Like I feel like now, even like the air pollution and people are really increased. Like I think the world is like not enough for everyone. It became
Really? You think the world is getting overpopulated?
yeah, I guess overpopulated. But I think it depends the country. For example, in China,
Really?
it's really overpopulated. In India, it's really overpopulated. In Japan, they have small. Like Japan, has really small. The how to say map.
Yeah,
The map.
small landscape.
Small landscape, but they are really overpopulated, and they even use even 1 kilometer like area. They use it like everything. Like they said, okay, we're not taking any other citizens to live in here. We're gonna try to decrease it.
That is the problem now. So everybody wants to live in Budapest. Everybody wants to live in Beijing. Everybody wants to live. What's the capital city of
Ulaanbaatar.
Ulaanbaatar. Everybody wants to live in Accra. Everybody wants to live in New York City. Nobody wants to really live in Dunawi Baros. Nobody wants to go and live in Dunar Foodva.
Yeah.
Because so it's all part of this era and generation. My grandmom didn't have a problem living in the village where she can just go back to the farm, get some vegetables and come and prepare. But now my sister doesn't want to go to the village. She wants to be in Accra. So it's not a problem of overpopulation. I think there are a lot of places available if people are willing. For example, in Canada, the government is paying some people to go and live at some places, some designated place, because they need the people. Everybody wants to go to Toronto. Everybody wants to go to Vancouver. No, I mean, so it's all the problem. And if you are saying it's overpopulation, I read somewhere that says that is why some of the presidents are initiating wars.
That's,
Do you think it is true?
I think it's just like the main intention purpose is that kind of thing. For example, I thought the
Really?
same thing. You know, COVID-19. I thought like I think they made it on purpose. Like I feel like
To decrease the
to
population.
decrease the population.
But governments are
Who is
also,
weak, they decreasing.
governments
Like, I
are
feel
also promoting childbirth. For example, here in Hungary, their their minister is promoting families to have more children, at least 3. So if the world is overpopulated, why are some leaders telling their citizens to have? What do you think could be?
I mean, every news, every police's propaganda you see on the news, there must be stakeholders like who gain profits. So maybe you will see one policy is like, okay, I'm on the side of like decrease the population. Maybe on the other hand, there were like policy. They said like, okay, I'm going to increase the population. What we should think is like a critical thinking, like what's behind their intention. Like, is that the for example, aging society is really a big problem,
Yeah.
or like the overpopulation is a big problem.
Yeah, I mean the data for the demographics is very concerning because right now we have a lot of aging population, and the youth, us, are very not interested in reproducing. Not, I mean, not even reproducing. Right now, this current generation and youth are not interested in commitment, not to talk of relationships. Like the cheating culture has become very normal. Like I was telling you the other time, in this generation, if your friend asks you if you cheat and you say no, they are going to judge you. In my mother's generation, if you cheated, you'll be so shy, you'll probably even kill yourself. But now, everybody is proud of that culture. I'm very happy that finally we have dived into relationship,
Always.
which I'm going to give you guys much platform to. So, do you think that? The first question was, is this current era better than 70 years ago? It also includes relationships. Like this time, the family structure, it's really broken as compared to then. You don't hear, my grandmother didn't divorce, my mom didn't divorce, my aunties never got divorced, my fathers, my uncles, my grandfathers, they all stayed in the family union. But now, there's Gen Zs, millennials. Do you think it has anything to do with our current generation? Because people are not serious with anything, especially relationships.
yes.
I'm talking about relationship. Do you think it has a factor? You go first.
So, this our generation is take it so easily. Oh, he didn't like text me. Okay, like should I break up with him? Like should I? And then I was like, oh, but maybe you can communicate with him. And I was like, no, he's so disrespecting. I don't want to be the person disrespect. So in this case, people are like, in all back in the days, they more communicate and they don't know what's going around the world like every day, like, because there's no actual social media. But these days, the girl is always watching like the influencers. They're talking about how heartbreak. If the person will do this, he doesn't love you. It's a red flag. It's became really popular word, like, red flag.
And
so maybe,
X.
yeah, X. And then she will think, oh, he's doing that. It's a red flag. And then she's trying to find really like perfect partner. And actually, there's no one is perfect. Maybe people will more communicate. But one thing is, people are hearing so many things in this around,
From
like now.
unprofessional
so
and
many
unqualified people.
Yeah, but all days there's still also so many divorces and heartbreak, and the relationship is ending. Even we heard at the time there were so many wife one man owns actually. Like, oh, I had 3 wives, oh, I had 4. Even like most of the kings and scientists, genetics had like several wives. But the woman can't have like so many husbands. But it's another topic. So in the time
Really?
that was also like they're divorcing a lot, but no one actually talks about that a lot. Maybe they just talk about in that time, like by our areas, by their areas. But now it's whole society is talking about your relationship in whole. Like I just go social media to my story, guys. Oh my God, this happened. Should I? And my friends should blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you should go for it. Someone else, maybe talk. And so many comments, and I was like confused. Maybe that's why it became really like
Easy.
viral or easy. Oh, it's fine. People take it like easy, but it's really serious thing to talk about.
That's
the breakup.
actually very true. And Luvian, what is your take? Do you think the dating scene now is very unserious and a huge problem to society? What factors do you think society is putting there? Like she said, a girl will just, maybe today is her birthday and her boyfriend didn't wish her in the morning, but he came later in the evening with a bouquet and said, oh, I was busy, but I was waiting to treat you special, so I brought the flower in the evening. And this girl will open TikTok. Guys, can you believe it was my birthday today and my guy didn't wish me and he came here tonight with a bouquet and blah, blah, blah. And the comment section will be the therapist and the psychologist giving their concern. leave him, it's a red flag. Block him. Like, what is your take on this?
Mm, okay. So in this story, it's like though we just share our daily life on the internet and we're exposed in certain level, and at the same time, we will receive message from different levels of people, like different social status and different perspective. Um, and this time also, I would say critical thinking is important, like because you have to understand your situation and you are the one know your best. So if someone like just give their thoughts like randomly and you just agree with them, like believe them so easily, then maybe that will cause trouble to you. So it's better to know what you want and maybe be conscious of what you're doing right now and be aware of your relationship and be aware of yourself. It's important. And then also back to the societal question, I would say like from a macro level, like each different kinds of society, they will have their own problems. And maybe we solve them and there will another problem coming in, and it's normal, and it's like I would say it's like a process of evolution.
Really?
Yes, like back that time, maybe during the wartime, like Second War, First War, people that time maybe want like a marriage, like just commit to a single person. I'm thinking maybe there's a reason behind that. Is like they're trying to survive on their basic needs, and so it's already like a blessing. Like you find someone like you can spend your life with, and it's just a simple wish, like have a family, have a kids, because they were living in an unstable life. So their wish is to have a stable life. So unlike now, I would say most of the teens, most of the Z generation, we're living in a stable society, and we almost get what we want. I mean, it's like Maslow needs demands. Like we don't have to survive our biological needs, so we're seeking for more things.
I got it.
Yes. Also, like for the question about like browsing too much internet cause a problem. Yes, it causes a problem. I think there's a psychological effect. It's called like browsing too much internet will make you hollow. Like for now, I saw many teenagers like they don't know what's the point of their life. And because they're browsing too much information on the internet and they don't have their own judgment, and they even don't know if it's their own willingness to do something, or
that's very sad.
They have no point of view about this word. So before they establish their own value, they just browse too much information. Which making them feel hollow.
You know, somebody is really living their life right now based on everything they see on social media. Because of social media, there is a boy who doesn't like a girl with some hairstyle. Because of social media, there is a girl who doesn't like a boy who wears some jeans.
Like a type.
Like some type. And it's very, very crazy. So it brings me to the question: do you think mostly the tension between men and women now have become transactional? Because now women have most women, especially in the Western societies, have clarified that this is what they want. And the men has also clarified that this is what they want. And it looks like both parties are getting comfortable with giving each other what they want. Men giving the women provision and whatever, and the women giving the men pleasure. Is that what it is now? What do you think? I didn't want to go directly to it, but let me go directly. Do you think sex has become transactional now?
Like transactional means
So right now, in most Western societies, the girl said a man must not be broke, and the man said women must be this and give us that. So the men are willing to give the money, and the women are willing to give their body.
Okay, got it. I think so. That's really. I feel like that's deep question.
Yeah, because it's true. Now a lot of men are willing to give money or the money, and now unfortunately a lot of women are also willing to give their body for it. So it's transactional. Take the money, give me your body, and the woman is also saying, take my body, give me your money. Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, but not really, because I remember last class we were discussing about this with Zhang Yinhao saying in China actually like if men just stay home and women come to okay let me just give you money and guys will take it and thank you like I will be your husband, you know, this kind of changing, especially. I think it's really different in each continent and each countries. I see in African continent, like Arab, including Arabs and South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and Algeria, every country. So there, I feel like staying same as historical. They are really strict in the law, like man is man, woman is woman. There is nothing is changing. Like even they mention in the law. So in this case, that area is really men are masculine, women are really feminine, really traditional. But on the other hand, in our Asian, it's really open for gender things. If you go to the Thailand, you will see everywhere lady boys, and some Arab people see like lady boys. They will think, oh, what are they doing? It's wrong because based on their religion. But actually, in Thailand, that's open. It's kind of art. It's like different perspective.
Yeah. True.
So I think in this case, I think also my favorite word is it depends. It depends on who. It depends on where. Yeah.
China is pretty much big, so you are there. Take us to how it is in China. Men are more traditional. I mean, how is the society?
I agree with them. Like China is a big society, and there are different cultural contexts. So maybe you will see a person from different province, and they have different views about the relationships. Yes, I agree with like most of the Chinese. They will be more traditional compared to Western society. That's true. And in some, yes, I would say the patriarchy it is a society of patriarchy. But I think not only in China, but also Western society. Even though now we're running like the women's rights and feminism, but it's still a patriarchy society. And for the relationship, I think any relationship are transactionally based. The only problem is like what do you want to trade? Like for in your case, it's like we trade sex with money.
Not in my case.
Okay, yes, in general, yes, this is a general phenomenon.
Yeah, I got it.
But also in some deeper level, like we can see like a marriage or really loving couple, like they trade their carings or they trade love. It's really common, like in a relationship, and we have to trade. Like for example, we have something. I have something like you can give me, and you have something you need, and I can give you, and this is a transaction, and to be, it's obvious. However, there's an Asian Chinese saying. It's like any relationship. It's like you drink water by yourself, and only yourself know if the water is cold or warm. So
yeah, I like some Chinese quotes. They're very nice.
So if for the people like they like to trade sex with money, and so only themselves know if it's bad or good.
Or good.
And for people like maybe disagree with that, and maybe they have their choice and their demands for love for the relationship.
But
Yeah.
but
tell
I'm
me.
just curious about your answer. Like,
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll start with from China. I like the Chinese way of the patriarchy. It really is designed to protect the women. So, for example, I know if you want to marry a Chinese girl, the father will make sure that you, the man, at least you have a home, at least you have a car, you have some amount of money in your account, and you have some amount of income coming in. If I'm wrong, you tell me. From my Chinese friends when I was there, this is what, and I think some way it's good because if the family of the woman is making sure the man has all of these things before they give their daughter in marriage, it secures the daughter's future and gives her comfort. Maybe it's a little harsh for the men, but I think it also makes them to fight for more and strive for more. But my take on this in general is, fortunately, I've had the opportunity to experience life from different angles on our globe. And yeah, in Ghana per se, it's not really a thing. Men are traditional and women are also traditional. So if I had a Ghanaian girlfriend, we will both understand our roles. It doesn't mean it's transactional. I will know what I have to do, she will know what she has to do. But for example, in this Western society, maybe in the heart of London, maybe in the heart of Washington, maybe in the heart of Berlin, it's very different. It may not be transactional, but it looks like a positive, um, I don't want to say feminism, but it looks like a positive feminine movement where women have set the standards men has to meet and not even considering men's standards. You know, a lot of women these days don't care if the man has a standard. They don't care. They just want you to care about their standards. And men have standards too. Like men also have what they are looking for in a woman, but women don't care. Do you think women don't care, right? You see the way you are happy. It's true.
yeah, that's hard fuzzy. But I want to ask you something. So the question is, man says, okay, it's I don't care how personality that you have, but as soon as you're pretty beautiful, it's fine. That's all matters. Is it true? Like men only see is beautiful and really nice looking, and this woman.
Well, I'm not going to speak for all men, but mostly that I know, as a man, we really do not need anything from a woman. We are, I think, naturally inclined to find a woman, and like you see, you will be a girl, you will be in your corner, and one guy will spot you, and he will chase you wherever you pass, messages trying to prove to you that, hey, come into my life, let me love you, let me protect you, let me shield you. So that is how we feel. We have a purpose to find a woman, love her, appreciate her, and support her. So we are basically not looking for anything from a woman. But of course, as a woman, we will appreciate you to respect us, support us. But basically, for a man to be attracted to a woman, then yes, she has to be beautiful. She has to be attractive. And the beauty is not only about the looks, the way she talks, how she thinks. I mean, to me, it's not only about the looks. There's some girls can be very beautiful on the face, but when they start talking and you get to know their mentality, then she becomes very ugly. You want to, yeah.
That's
So
same for girls.
really,
Yeah, I like the point of view, like you appreciate the deep bond. You're seeking for a deep bond for
Yeah.
a relationship. I can see that there's a general phenomenon like in nowadays society, like the people like they're seeking for not a deep bond, but just in
fling.
superficial levels. Like they're looking for a girl or boy just for fame or just for their beauty, therefore attractiveness, for satisfying their biological needs, and they're not seeking for like a deep connection, like human and human.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
And I would like to correct it. It's not necessarily that men don't need anything from. Of course, we enjoy the company of a woman. It's very nice to know that you have some cute, very beautiful other human who is yours that you can call, you can go and hug. It just feels nice. But like if we are looking for something materialistic or something from a woman, no. Mostly, like I know, especially maybe from where I come from, we don't chase a woman because we need her car or we need her to be a lawyer or we need her to be a doctor. I don't care if you're a lawyer or doctor or mechanic or a housewife. I don't really care, because
It's like who you are.
yeah, who you are. But mainly, a woman may care if you're a doctor or if you're a lawyer or if you're a pilot or if is that true?
There's also a trend nowadays, like the women, like especially the well-educated women, they have their jobs, they have their own knowledge, and so they don't care about the boy you can offer to them. So, but this is also another problem. Like they cannot find the spouse because in their situation they are well-educated and they're seeking for someone who can accompany with her. But the fact is like there's not so much boys like are willing to be with them because they are thinking the girls are just too well educated and they might not like much.
So you think women being educated is intimidating to men?
That question should ask you.
Okay, then ask me then. As a man, well, I am not intimidated by. I mean, as an educated man, as a man who is really open-minded, I would appreciate a woman who is on the same level with me. If I'm not a coward, I'll probably like a woman who is smarter than I am, because women have some vision that is very underestimated. Yeah, smart, like women have a vision that is really underestimated, and men, our ego are not allowing us to realize and tap into that. But if you are a very sensible man and you acknowledge that this woman is sensible, because sometimes I am asking my woman some questions, I need some advice, I tell her this, what should I do? And I take her advice and it turns out good for me. Fuck the ego and fuck anything, but it is true. But a lot of men are very egoistic. They think that women are not supposed to be tapped into that. But yeah, I think
I heard like many, even from the podcast with my friends, I was asking, okay, then if a woman is really smarter than you and like maybe financially is like richer than you, I don't know, and like everything is like better than you, and she's popular, like will you date her even she's really pretty, she has everything? And he said no. And I was like, why? And he was like, I want to be the dominant masculine, I want to take care of the girl. If she's don't need anything from me, I feel like I'm nothing for them. Like, and I was like, and who do you prefer? And he was like, I prefer just like normal like human, but not smarter than me.
yeah,
And I get shocked, really.
you have really failed as a man if you calculate your value based on your assets. So as a man, you should be ready to lose it all and get everything all over again. So if you calculate your worth on your assets, you have lost. So it means that the moment you lose your assets, you are nobody. So me, I train myself to believe that with or without my assets, I'm worth it. So because if I wake up tomorrow and there's an earthquake and I've lost everything, I believe that I can remake it again. But personally, I wouldn't like a woman who is richer than I am. Because women also have some kind of confidence, some kind of stubbornness in them. When they feel like they are a little bit powerful or they have power than you, they might. Because look at it, even the women who are not richer than their husbands, who are not educated than their husbands, who are not stronger, you see a big tall man rich with a very cute wife, and the way this cute wife can stress this man, like the way she can stress him, so imagine she is richer and much more powerful. It's a little bit intimidating, I will admit to that. So I personally wouldn't want to be with a woman who is richer than I am, who can call the shots that I can call.
like more dominant woman.
Yeah, it's only about the riches. I will appreciate a woman who is smarter, who's older than me. I don't mind. All these things doesn't really matter. But the money aspect, money is power. If she's richer than me, she has some power. She can call some shots. If I do something that really, I can do something small, she can overreact. Because of money, she can even call a lawyer or a police. Say, come in, and I will be defenseless because she's
I would
rich.
say that's a fuck off money. Like when you miss something and you have the money and you can say fuck off.
Yeah, like fuck off money. Yeah, so that power is too much. I think for my woman to have. Like it's too much power. Is that money? I would rather want to have the money because either way, it's my money is our money. So it's all good. But it's been a very nice conversation. So you see how relaxing it was. You were very nervous, but you see. Talking about getting close to the end of our episodes, I'll let you guys give me your story. So let me give you my story. We were talking about how relationships were being controlled on social media. So of course I prepared one. So this guy needs help, and of course he went to social media to consult the online in-laws, online therapists, and online psychologists. So he said, my 27 male boyfriend and I, 30 female, are having an issue regarding sex life. First of all, this is so private to even go and put it on social media. Anyways, he said, he desires connection through sex. I desire connection emotionally. I am also not particularly attracted to him sexually. Oh my God. But I love and am attracted to him in every other aspect. I also have basically no sex drive anyway. I have tried to compromise with him by offering sex once a week, but this isn't enough and not love making. I understand and don't hold anything against him, his needs and desires, but it more often than not feels like guilt tripping and makes me want sex even less. How do we come to a compromise that works for both of us? He wants more sex. I basically want none. And the first comment. That is a red flag. Leave him. Find time for
course.
yourself and start all over again. Like the first advice, they are not even given a chance.
They don't know even how they feel about it.
They don't even
They
care.
never meet them.
They don't even care. Just leave him. Like the first
Red
advice.
flag.
And trust me, the first 7 are all leave him, leave him, leave him, leave him. It's just 1 or 2 people that are saying you should communicate. Now, do you think the woman is selfish? 1. 2, do you think it's a problem? I think this is not a major problem. This is something that can be communicated and solved.
Sorry, what's the women's needs? Like, what's he
She
seeking for?
likes connection through emotionally, and her boyfriend likes connection through sex. However, she has compromised to give him sex once a week, but this guy wants more. She is not having the sex drive at all. And she says she's not sexually connected to. How are you not sexually connected to your husband or your man? Then why are you in the relationship in the first place? So I think she's selfish, or I may be wrong. You guys are ladies. What is her problem? Why is she not?
I'm curious, first of all, if the husband give the emotional needs for her. So, I mean, if there's like sufficient emotional bonding, maybe she wouldn't feel that way.
That way.
And at the second hand, maybe she should visit a doctor
Yeah.
or a therapist to see if he is like mentally or physically ill about the sex, or maybe communications.
Yeah, I think communication is
That's-
the first key here. Not coming to tell us, who will
Yeah.
tell her that it's a red flag, she should go and leave. Because everybody will just say it's a red flag when
Yeah.
leaving. What do you think?
Yeah, I think communicate always saves everything. Like she can go to him. Maybe there's problem they can't communicate because they're not emotionally connected. Even they talk, there's no solution. Maybe, but that case is like I think out of 10 people, two couple always in that
This
kind of situation, like
Wow.
even married relationship, because both humans have different body,
Needs.
different like feeling. So men's, I don't know how to say, like men's all like mostly wanted to feel like he's like, oh my god, I'm making my girl feeling good, I'm protecting her, we are really connected, this is like soul energy changing. But actually she's thinking, but he actually doesn't ask me any questions, he doesn't know how I'm feeling, he just like want to use me. That's the way she's thinking. Yeah.
I get your point.
Yeah.
She feels like the man is only concentrate on sex, doesn't care about how she's
Yeah.
feeling. And women need emotional
Yeah.
connection and emotional consent. That is a trick a lot of men also don't know. This is a trick to just get it every time, her anytime. Just pay attention to her emotional needs and hit it harder and harder, and any other door will open.
Yeah, because a woman is really emotionally, because hormones and like every month's period, there's so many things are going on, and even men have to understand with everything. But the woman said like didn't say like fully no. It's like they have to like communicate and talk, go to therapists, go to doctor, something. They have
I
to
like this.
go together, not like man, husband versus wife. It's like the couple versus to that problem. So
let's educate, especially the young men. I know that women only have one free week in the month that they are okay without any problem. There is a week where there is menstruation, there is ovulating, which is very stressful. There is another term for the other week, which I don't know, which is also very stressful. And there is only probably 5 days that your body is not going through any natural. So that 5 days are probably the only week in the month where you are 100% completely sane. And most boys don't recognize this, which is a problem. I think we need to be educated about the needs of each gender. So men should learn how to live with women and understand their cycle, and women should also learn. But mostly that part is very ignored. Do you think it's ignored? Let me hear your aspect. Do you think the education to the young man is missing this part? Because a lot of men don't even know.
I mean, not only young men, young ladies as well.
Okay.
Like, I mean, for most of girls, they may not understand the needs of men as well. So I'm thinking, yes, educating both gender is essential, like for the relationship course, like that.
Good.
And I want to raise up another word. It's called self-growth. I think even if you are in a relationship, sometimes you really need to seek for something from yourself. Like you need to grow yourself first, love yourself first, then you can understand how to love the other person. And but sometimes, like, or I can say oftenly, like in the relationship, we're trying to seek for something from the other person. We're ignoring our needs, the fundamental needs. Maybe because that question emerged has its own origin.
Yeah.
So we need to sometimes to reflect ourselves and to find what's the real problem. What's the real root for the problem, like we can say it now. So yeah.
I'm tired of the gender war, so I wouldn't even want to go and talk about it today, because this war, I don't know how it's going to end. I call it the World War III, and it's actually the World War III, this gender war. I asked you guys to prepare something for us. So since we're ending it, I know I made you prepare more. It was a trick just to make you much more relaxed. So pick your favorite, and then you tell us, we react to it. And you also pick your favorite, you tell us, we react to it, and then we will.
What's your story about relationship or funny, creepy?
Which one do you like?
I have a lot of stories. So.
Okay. if you have a relationship, go for it, because mine is like a bit creepy, like yeah.
Let's hear from your relationship take.
Okay, relationships.
Yeah, because some way or the other, we always end up talking about relationship. Last week, I had a podcast
Yeah.
with a Nigerian guy, so it was a brother meetup. We were speaking about men stuff.
Mm.
We didn't know how we ended up talking about relationship. We just
It
ended up.
always end. It's a
Yeah.
good topic.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good topic.
So here's the story.
Mm-hmm.
This is from a TV show in China called See You Again. It's a marriage reality show that each season will have 3 couples that are divorced or facing divorce. So the crew will offer them an 18-day trip to discover the nature of themselves and the nature of their relationship. So here's a couple I want to share. First of all, they're middle-aged and have a kid. The wife is a famous stand-up comedian in China, and the husband has no job. They deeply love each other as they've been through a lot when they had nothing. However, as the woman focused more on her career, she found that she often forget about herself and no one cared about what she wanted when she was given to her family. So the gap between the wife who is busy at work and the husband who is full-time at home is getting bigger and bigger. So the lack of communication and love between the two has become a barrier. And they barely talk about their feelings. And the husband even wrote, "I will help you fly high" on her birthday card. So the wife choked up and cried, saying that the content of the card written by a husband to his wife should not be like this. While the husband thought it was a way to help share the pressure.
But fly where? He's gonna help her fly
High.
high.
Fly high. It's like I mean in Chinese it's like this metaphor like I will promote your career. I will behind you and support your career. Yes. And you can go on your paths and yes. So at the end of the show they chose to divorce. They said they love each other so deeply. Even the divorce, they would share life and death together. But they have to go separate as their self-growth cannot take place when they are together. They wish each other to grow themselves and be happier. So they chose divorce.
They both choose the divorce. They
Yes.
both.
People actually don't love themselves, but they confuse themselves with loving each other. Because love is sacrifice in itself. Love is compromise. And that is the thing about people actually. We want everything to be perfect without putting in the effort. We want everything to be perfect. All these beautiful things that we are seeing, people put in effort. It just didn't happen like that. So you see beautiful marriage couples and you think, they are just there, no nothing, they are just there seeing. No, the effort. Both parties need to be willing to stay. It's like friendship. It's like coming to school. If you sign up to have an education in this university, you need to be willing to come to classes. You need to be willing to do your assignments. You need to be willing to do your project. Otherwise, you get whatever you get. You get a fail. But then we marry and then we expect that fine, everything should be fine, should be beautiful. I don't want to do anything. So they say they love each other, but they have to go their separate ways. How is that love?
I do believe they love each other.
So how is that
they
love?
experience a lot and they're more like a friendship or family love, like because they've spent at least 15 years together.
So what happens after that? The man can be with another woman and the woman can be with another man, or
I mean, maybe they just need each other like own space to grow their own. Like
what is your take on this story?
I don't know, they're running away maybe the problems, or if they really love each other, anything doesn't matter, they will be together, but they ended up divorced if something is
You're running from that problem.
yeah, or something was there, or maybe they just get like no spark anymore. They want another thing to make them like feeling excited because it's been already 15 years. But if it's actually true love, even they're like 60 years, 70 years together, they will be still love each other.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
in this case, I don't know because I never experienced that kind of things. I don't know how to
They are
like
both not just willing to
advice,
because there are some instances where divorce or separation is very, very essential. Like when one person is abusing the other through emotions, through violence. Like there are some cases when you listen, yes, it's there. But I think this
I
is
think this was a middle-aged crisis
Yeah.
in China, like maybe worldwide. Like they're facing a problem. Like after a couple years of marriage, and they're having cold violence, and they don't communicate. And even though they know, maybe they love each other, but they barely talk, and they focus on their own stuffs,
stuffs.
and they're ignoring some things. And as I know, like relationships are so complicated. For me, I would think like maybe at the superficial level, like people, like young people, like they will focus on like the fame, the beauty, and the attractive personality, like something like that for being together. But on the other hand, I would think like the people who are getting married, they were looking for something more deep, like a deep bond, like kindness,
Yeah.
personality, responsibilities, like that.
True.
And if someone possesses this quality, then they may be a good choice to be married with. But in this case, middle-aged couple, apparently the first two doesn't apply for them. So I'm thinking, like the third level should be self-growth. Let's back to self-growth. We should love ourselves first
Yeah.
and know our own capacity, know what our own like the basic needs and also the fundamental needs like we really desire. So in this case, we're able to communicate a real conversation with your partner.
True.
Like what's your real needs? Let's solve that. But even if you like you don't know your needs, like yes, in this phase you should concentrate on yourself
and do your self
Yeah.
growth.
Maybe the love that meant I love you, it meant like they just used to be together. Like they feel when they they feel just comfy around them, like used to them.
I got it. Anyway, that was very nice. It's good because we were taking a warm bath, a warm shower in the relationship topics. Now, kill us with what is going to scare us.
Yeah, but so this is like the story. Its name is like the whisper in the cabin. I think this kind of happens to so many people. Even it happens to me once, even to my friend. So, okay, she was saying, I swear, this really happened to me 2 summers ago. My friends, I rented a small cabin deep in the woods for a weekend getaway. No signal, no Wi-Fi, just nature, just enjoy the landscape. So, the first night, we stayed up late telling scary stories around the fire, and when we finally went inside, I took a smallest room alone. Around 3 a.m., I woke up suddenly, I didn't know why, but I felt someone was standing next to my bed. Okay, she felt like sixth sense, you know? So, it was a pitch black, and I couldn't hear anything except for this weird faint whisper. I couldn't make out the words, but it was like someone was murmuring just inches from my ear. I sat up and turned on my phone's flashlight. No one was there. I checked the hallway, everyone asleep, and I even looked outside. There was nothing. And the next morning, I told my friends. One of them went pale. He said he had stayed in the same cabin with a cousin a few years before. And the exact same thing happened to him.
What?
Neither of us stayed in that room again, she said.
Are these people white people?
I don't know.
Yes, there are something that black people like to say, especially in America, like white people shit. This is some white people shit. Because, for example, I know that me and my African friends will not go inside the woods and say that
There's no one, no Wi-Fi. They just
Yes.
sacrifice this.
But it's something
Travelers.
white people will simply do. Like white people will not think twice. They will go for hiking. They will go in the middle of the ocean.
Adventures.
Go at the back of a whale. Have you ever seen a video where black people were at the back of a whale before? No. So it's definitely some.
Same for Asian people.
It's also like, I believe there's haunted places, or because I camp a lot every summer since I was 2 years old. I camp every summer with my family, but this kind of things a little bit happened to me, and it was really at night. We always like took a car and drive it like whole night and go into like hiking and etc. And it was already like 1 a.m. and it was raining started during the moon. It was so hard to build the tent. So we're like, okay, let's try to find any camping area there. And we found one place, and there's just empty landscape. And then we found like one building. Like two floored. And then we were like, okay, just stay here. And it was like hotel, kind of camping hotel things. And we went in, and as soon as I entered that place, I don't know, I felt really like, cold. Like it's, I don't know, it's weird. Like, and then I slept. And then I felt like whole night, like I can't sleep. Like I was doing this. Oh my God, please next morning. And then at night there was like no one, receptionist and maybe some of the people. But I felt in the room someone actually like walking around, doing something or cutting the food and something. I felt that kind of, and I heard. Maybe I was scared. I was imagining. I thought, try to myself calm. But woke up in the morning. I asked my sister, oh my God, yesterday was horrible. Like it's one of the worst night I ever been. Like I can't sleep. I feel someone is walking. And she was like, oh, I know, right? I was feeling too.
Ooh.
And I was like, damn, let's go out. Yeah. But that happened like 8 years ago, around 7 years ago. It's like really landscaped area.
Well, since we are saying scary stories, we are going to finish it. But I will say this. I think I've said it before, maybe not to you. It was in Ghana. I was traveling with my father from Accra to our hometown. But I don't know, for some reason, he did not check the fuel gauge. So the petrol finished in the middle of the journey. It was like 2:30 a.m. And I don't know if you know the African city to village route. It's very creepy, dangerous. You've not seen that in any of your Hollywood movies. Like, yeah, it's a very scary scene. So the car broke down and we parked. And fortunately, there was one of his friends who drove public transport. So he called him and he said, oh, I'm just behind the town you are. So that friend came. And when the friend came, the two of them had to go and buy the fuel. So meaning I need to be left in the car alone because we can't leave the car. And when I was in the car, so they left. I was in the car. I was just chilling in the passenger seat. And I saw a man coming from a distance. And I blinked my eye, like I just closed my eye and opened, and he wasn't there. I checked the driving mirror, and he was far behind me going. And this is a real, I don't know if my brain played a trick with me, but he was coming from a far distance. I just blinked my eyes like 2 seconds, like.
Oh my God.
And he's not there.
Oh my
I checked the driving mirror. He is walking behind me and going.
Oh my
That
God.
was scary.
Yeah,
It's so
and the
scary.
goosebumps on my body. And I didn't have a phone to call my dad, like, yo, nigga, hurry up and come here because. Yeah, it was a
Oh my
really
God.
chilling story. And where the car was, it's very, very, very creepy. So maybe all these things are real. We can really
I have
tell.
similar experiences.
Really?
But I wouldn't delve into it because I have a similar story for that really, really touching story. It's also supernatural incidents. So it's okay, I read it.
Yeah, can you summarize it for
Okay.
us? Yeah, and then we'll finish.
So,
So
yes,
before
yes.
that, so yeah, this is going to be our last story. That is the aim of the podcast, is to keep you engaged, keep you informed, and I believe you are enjoying it so far. So Prep and Thrive Radio, the last story. Let's go.
So the story rises from a first person view. So like he had a brother, and they're not related by blood, but the brother has a prominent family and excellent abilities. However, he was only 20 years old when he passed away. He spent his life with all glamour, also with all the misfortune. So he lost his father when he was a little kid, and he was abused by his stepfather. He was later raised by his uncle, and his uncle died when he was 16. He had 7 brothers, but only 2 were alive. Some died of illness, some died of natural disasters, and some died of man-made accident. He had a love. They loved each other for 2 years. Then he committed suicide. And I thought he was a resilient man, and he felt that suicide was a shameful thing. However, the cause of death was skin cancer. After he passed away, I discovered that this disease is one of the most treatable types of cancer and easy to detect in early phases. The only reason that it took his life that he didn't want to be treated at all.
Why?
I remember the last words he said to me were, "I'm finally going to see them."
Do you think he killed himself? He actually brought himself the cancer so that he
Yes,
can...
kind of suicide. So this is not the end of story. So since he left, he always appears in my nightmares, driving away the terrible things by his strong hands. And there's a time when I was taking a selfie to check the white hair on my head. I noticed his shadow in the window behind me.
Oh my god.
yeah, I
Later,
could be scared.
I asked a master to see me. The first thing the master asked me was, "A good friend of yours passed away this year, right?" So I said, "Yes, that's my brother." And the master nodded and said, "He has been protecting you all the time." So yes, this is another story, and from another perspective, and I also want to share my view about that, because I'm actually not that scared of the ghost of something, because the breath I'm holding is like, just imagine that every ghost, they were a living person before, and they were being loved by their families, and they loved the people they loved.
Yeah.
Just imagine that they once been loved, and you will not scared of them anymore. I mean, what we're scared of is the darkness, is the unknown, something we don't know. So that's what we are scared of. But in this case, like, he know is his brother, so he wouldn't be scared of him.
Yeah.
So he even welcomed, like, he feel a strength from, like, the existence of his brother, even he is not a living person.
Living person.
Yes.
Yeah, but she seeing him in the mirror, the shadow is very, I will collapse.
If something will happen with that kind of things, I'm gone.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna collapse there, because seeing that, but yeah, like, I think in general, ghosts are very harmless. They don't mean
To hurt.
especially if you haven't done anything bad. For example, if your mom died, her ghost is probably not going to hurt you if it's real. Because why would my mom ghost hurt me? Like, why should I be scared of my mom ghost?
To protect you.
Yeah, we are scared of the unknown and the darkness. Like, what is going to happen? What is he going to do? Is he going to touch me? Is he going to whisper in my ears? So, from you, how did you enjoy our conversation?
It was really nice, but to be honest, I'm still nervous.
Oh, after an hour.
But you look so confident.
Yeah, you
like,
look so confident and relaxed. I told you not to worry. This is all, even though it is a project, it's also part to let you learn, because you are in the media and communication. So yeah, it's good.
And it's good to hear from different perspectives. And also I can learn from it. But sadly, I didn't bring all of my stories here. And
It's fine. We've had a good conversation.
Yes.
You've expressed your thoughts and your opinions on so many things. As for you, this is your second time, so I can see the confidence and the exposure more and more. So how did you find today's conversation?
First of all, thank you for inviting me the second time. It was really nice, and I feel really comfy around you guys talking, especially when I talk with Jeffrey. Like, he actually asks good questions, makes me talk, and a really good listener. And I really enjoy talking with you.
Wonderful.
I agree.
Yeah.
Great. So, guys, we come to an end of another yet beautiful episode. I hope you did enjoy it. Sorry about that. It's all part of the Prep and Thrive Radio. There is more questions coming in, but unfortunately, we are done. Do what to like, subscribe, and write a comment. Your comments are very important. Let us know what you think about us. Maybe you are crushing on one of them. You can say it. I will connect them to you. I will put their socials there, like their Instagram, because of course we live in a social connecting era now. Let's connect with each other in a professional, healthy way. It's very needed for the society. It's your favorite host, Akosa. See you next time. Bye.